Hey y'all, it's Day. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for us today. Very much looking forward to this reading. Today, I'm using one of my most treasured decks, which is the Dust to Onyx Melanated Tarot deck. Love this deck. This deck only comes out like every once in a while, but I love it. I feel like even though there are always so many like decks that I would like to get, but I definitely find solace in the fact that I have this one. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I want to let you guys know that I am doing private readings. So if you'd like to book a reading with me, you can do so by visiting my website, which will be in the comment section below. And if you would like to contribute to my readings, you'll be able to do so through that website, through Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, or you can visit my Amazon wish list. You might find something on there for yourself as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I do want to thank my angels, guides, ancestors, God, source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What do we need to know? What needs to be heard? What do we need to be aware of? So the top right of the spread, we have 6 of coins in reverse. And the energy with the 6 of coins definitely feels like giving to yourself. And I'm hearing opportunity. So whoever this reading is for will have the opportunity to give to themselves, to nurture themselves, to reciprocate to themselves without guilt. There is this energy of someone maybe feeling a little bit cringe about considering themselves first, or giving to themselves first, or doing something nice for themselves. It's bringing me to this idea of, I know a lot of people, or women more specifically, have been like, buy yourself flowers, like that type of energy. So I see some kind of act of service that someone is being encouraged to kind of put towards themselves, or buy something for themselves. Hold on, let me change this song because I don't really care for this one. It's got a lot going on. Hold on. So yeah, someone is being encouraged to like do something for themselves, take themselves out somewhere, or buy something for themselves, and they may feel a little bit cringe at the thought of it. So I'm getting energy of like going to the movies by yourself, getting yourself some kind of service to get a massage, buying flowers for yourself, pampering yourself in some way, getting food service for yourself. That is the energy that's coming up here. Then on the left of the spread, we have the Knight of Swords in the resistant position. Towards the middle of the spread, we have the Universe, or the World card, in reverse. So with the Universe in reverse, it's kind of like spiritual team is saying something about not reciprocating or doing for yourself or gifting yourself or going out of your way to treat yourself kind of like keeps everything stagnant or at a standstill in whoever this reading is for's life. The way that it's coming through is kind of like they want a partner, they want to have someone that they can spend time with. This may be in relation to friends or a friend group as well. So it's giving that energy of, you know how they talk about like when the plans for the trip or the event makes it out the group chat. There is this energy of someone not either not having a friend group or a specific friend or a lover or a love interest, and they kind of don't make plans or they don't take advantage of certain activities or services because when they think about themselves participating or taking advantage of these services, they're thinking of themselves doing it with another person. And spiritual team is like, it's okay for you to do that for yourself or to go by yourself. Um, is the energy here, and something about not doing it because you're doing it alone um, actually creates stagnancy within your life. And your spiritual team wants you to enjoy life. A big part of you exploring life and experiencing pleasure is like visually seeing something, visually going somewhere. And I'm hearing the word auditorium, and I'm getting this energy of someone going to a play, someone going to a museum, someone, you know, I'm hearing fine arts, like experiencing something. And it may be cringe to kind of think of yourself getting all dressed up to go by yourself. And I'm also getting an energy for some of the participants that are going to take advantage of this or actually try to exercise doing this more because of this message. Some of these people will go alone, but they'll end up meeting people or getting into conversations. So it's not necessarily that you'll be spending the entire night alone. And some of the people, they're meant to spend the night or experience whatever these activities are alone. Yeah, with this Knight of Swords coming out in the resistant position, it's definitely giving me this energy of creating movement. And there is also this kind of stubborn or stagnant energy within the person that this reading is for. And it reminds me of like my partner always tells me like, come on, let's go outside and get some fresh air, especially when I'm not in the best of moods or when there's something important that needs to be talked about or something like that. And I always or most of the time never feel like getting up and actually going outside and walking outside, but I never regretted it after doing it. Like I always feel better after I go outside and get some fresh air. But there is this heavy emphasis on whoever this reading is for. They feel very stagnant. They feel very heavy, like they don't want to. So let's take a look here. So don't be discouraged or don't think like you're not supposed to because you don't feel like it. But once you get out and get things moving, you will realize that you feel a lot better and you feel more alive, and you will start to realize the possibilities that surround you. And I'm also getting this energy of like, even if you do push yourself to do it the first time, whether you're deciding to go out somewhere, take yourself to dinner somewhere or lunch somewhere or just be out in public, There's dancing that's coming up, maybe going to a dancing class or going to an event that allows you to dance. There is this energy of they actually take that leap of faith and do it. It goes great. They enjoyed it, and then maybe the next weekend or the next time they still find themselves stuck in this stagnant energy where they could go out but they don't want to. So it may take practice, it may take exercise in getting out of this stagnant energy. And there's kind of this energy of, yeah, I know I went out last time and I had fun, but I don't know if that will happen again. So there's kind of like this self-doubt, and I'm hearing self-worth, fluctuation going on where they feel like it might not happen again as far as them having a good time. Underneath this Knight of Swords, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. And I just keep hearing stagnancy, stagnancy, stagnancy. So our spiritual team is coming through very clearly to say that there are different elements of stagnancy. There may be stagnancy in the mind and your perception as far as what possibilities are available to you. There may be stagnancy in the body, as in like you just literally don't want to get up out of bed. You don't want to leave the house. You just really genuinely don't want to leave the house. You just don't want to. I just don't want to. That's the energy. So our spiritual team's coming through to like acknowledge, like, we understand that you feel that way. We understand why you feel that way. And still, we're encouraging you to do it. And I was seeing 12:12 on the clock, so that may be something of significance to whoever this reading is for. And then I was seeing 12:23. Okay, so yeah, Lil Gord is like, there's so much imagination, so much imagination, fun-spirited type of energy. And there's a reference to something about this person's personality. You're meant to be emotional, I'm hearing. You're meant to be dreamy. You're meant to be very charismatic. You're meant to be very expressive. That may be something that you don't resonate with right now, or all of your life you haven't resonated with that. But spiritual team is bringing up this idea of perhaps you don't feel that way because of the past experiences that you have had. But they want you to know that you're actually very dreamy, very imaginative. It's giving Disney princess, Disney world, Disney character, like being surprised. There's some kind of stagnancy within the expression of the emotions as well. So someone may be very like resting bitch face, or very like monotone in the face type of energy. Like their face is not used to making certain expressions, but you're actually meant to experience that. And spiritual team is wanting you to give the world, the universe, an opportunity to awaken that aspect of yourself. And that is also speaking to this universe card, which is coming out in reverse, where they're saying something is stagnant, something is being held up, experiences that you're meant to have, expressions that you're meant to express or experience for yourself, is stagnant because something about not getting out, not creating movement is holding you back. So you may benefit from finding some genuine to you daily stretches that help you get your body moving, and also know that you may be reluctant to want to do that also. Like there's just some times where we just really don't feel like stretching, or we really don't feel like moving our bodies. But spiritual team is saying that like it's something again that you will not want to do, but you won't regret it once it's done. On top of that, we have the Seven of Blades, or the Seven of Swords, coming out in the resistant position on top of this Knight of Cups we just talked about, where our expressions, our emotions, our lust for life, our comical relief is very dull. So I'm definitely getting like, when you go to the DMV and nobody that works there cares about anything, like they're very just detached from life, or there's something like the tax office or any place that you go, they like, that the people there are not really going to be that helpful, like they just don't care. That type of energy is in whoever this reading is for, and spiritual team is like, it's like giving me this energy of like, if you're someone that, or think of someone that never exfoliates, and like how your dead skin, it has to shed, but it's like dead skin on top of 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 dead skin, and it's almost like if it moves, it would stop. It would, like if your skin were to move, the dead skin would start to peel and crack and eventually fall off, but that depends on the movement. Like the movement is required in order for all these layers to come off. So movement is required. Um, yeah. So yeah, we have the Seven of Blades coming out on top of this Knight of Cups in the resistant position, because something about our complacency and our stagnancy, something about our comfortability and our stagnancy, not getting out of the house, not getting out of the bed, not exercising. And when I say exercise, not rigorous, like that type of exercise where like you're literally hurting your body to exercise, but a genuine moving at your own pace type of exercise. You can exercise and still move slow. You don't have to like really like abuse your body to exercise. Stretching, the complacency, the comfort is a lie, and our spiritual team is coming through very clearly to say that we may, whoever this reading is for, you are very susceptible to not creating movement in your life and staying in comfort, because staying stagnant because of comfort, or because of the strong dislike of the idea of getting out of bed, getting out of the house, taking yourself out, buying yourself those flowers, going to get a massage, taking advantage of a service, going to that play, going to the museum, that thought of cringe of going to a restaurant by yourself, going to a museum by yourself, all of those type of feelings, it's a lie. That's why the Seven of Swords is coming out. The Seven of Swords can represent deception, falsehood, lying to yourself, going around the problem, talking yourself out of something great. Okay. So yeah, I'm being drawn back to the Six of Coins, which is the first card that came out in this spread. In the traditional tarot, the Six of Coins can represent acts of service or giving to the needy or the less fortunate, or exchange in general. And in this reading, we're talking about giving to yourself. The imagery in this deck is depicting coins falling from the moon and into the ocean. So with the ocean and the water and the way that the atmosphere is looking here to me, it's kind of like misty. Um, it's like there are a lot of undiscovered, untapped aspects of this person showing acts of service to themselves. There's a lot of, I'm hearing, mystery behind this act, this method of loving yourself. There's a lot to be discovered, there's a lot to be experienced in actively doing little things throughout your day and throughout your life, throughout your week, of giving to yourself. For me, lately I've been, I forgot the name. I think it's Heaven Sent Honey is someone that I follow on YouTube, and she talks about the importance and the need for beauty and pleasure, and the beauty through pleasure, and elegance is a key word that she's been really talking about more deeply, which I love. Definitely recommend her channel to you if you are um, a if you are someone that's trying to integrate more of your femininity into your life. But she talked about elegance, and she breaks down what she thinks elegance means to her. And something that I've been practicing from her is this idea of incorporating elegance into my life more. And an aspect of incorporating that into a way that we can incorporate that into our life, she talked about, is like um, an elegant person. They are not rushed for time. They take their time and they are selective. And I noticed that all throughout my life, I've always been that fast walker. I've always been that person getting from point A to point B as fast and as efficient as possible. I noticed that when I do a lot of things, whether it's washing dishes or cooking or even taking a shower, there's a lot of abruptness in the things that I'm doing. So I've been actively working on slowing down when I do anything. Even I notice when I get out of the shower and I'm putting lotion on, it's in this very rough, very abrupt way. And so I've been practicing on, being more sensual, really taking time to enjoy the moment, trying to look at very familiar environments with fresh eyes, that type of energy. So I think that's a great practice for just life in general, and slowing down, getting the most out of your time. And I was thinking today, as I was washing dishes, of I really find interest in different animals and their lifespans. Um, I need to look into that more. I don't really actually have examples to give you, but I was thinking of how um, like turtles or tortoises and animals like that, or in that category, live a long time, and how they may live a long time because they move so slowly. And I think that there are a lot of enjoying life or making the most out of our day is can be expanded through moving more slowly and taking time. I learned this about 4 years ago when I had the opportunity to spend a lot of time at home during COVID. And I talked about on some a reading previous to this one, of how I got to wake up early. Like, how when you have to wake up for work or school, how hard it is to wake up. But when I had nothing to do, it was very easy to wake up early, like 6 o'clock in the morning, just to go sit on my balcony and watch the sun come up. But taking the time to do that really helped me get the most out of my days as well. So I also talked about just going outside, like when you catch a breeze outside, taking the moment to just really pause and take that breeze in. And I've never been a cat person, but we have been tending to this stray cat we named Cheeto Vila, and I got to spend a day outside with Cheeto last week, and it was a very breezy day, and I was like, wow, what a beautiful day. It's like a great day to fly a kite. And but I was just observing Cheeto, and he was just sitting out there, and he was enjoying the breeze too. And I was just thinking about cats in general, how lazy they can be and how they're always taking naps and things. And cats can live a pretty long time too, usually longer than dogs, I think. And I think that's partially because they take such long naps. And something about taking rest when you need it is an act of service to yourself, and you give back to yourself. And I think that that is definitely contributing to your overall health, well-being, and longevity. So I encourage everybody to really just find activities, acts of service that they can do for themselves, and to exercise pausing and slowing down their actions, not rushing every action that they do. And it's been a process. I would say that I've been practicing this for the last 3 weeks, and I find myself still rushing a lot of the times. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I'm rushing. And then I'll slow down. And that has become a habit. And I'm noticing going from, oh, wait, I need to slow down, to like it being a part of my routine, that I'm just going slow. I'm walking more slowly. I'm taking my time when I'm doing things. And like, I love that for me. Like, that's a flex. So let me know in the comment section how y'all feel about that. But yeah, definitely shout out to Heaven Sent Honey on YouTube for that. Love that for me, that I came across her channel. Back to the spread. On the right of the spread, we have the Eight of Swords. And I was hearing commercial vehicle earlier, and I'm hearing it now. But commercial vehicle is saying that we have the capability and or will be presented the opportunity shortly to exercise this knowing that we can unlock aspects of ourselves that may be different from the identity that we have been, I'm hearing, portrayed, or that we've known ourselves to be. So again, going back to this idea of whoever this reading is for, is very not that expressive, but they were always meant to be very expressive. Not never been that emotional, but they were always meant to be emotional. Somebody is numb, very desensitized in life, and spiritual team is wanting us to create movement in our life. That way we will start to discover the emotions. The emotions will start to come out. And I'm hearing the word favor. So taking on these practices will allow us to get in alignment with favor for whoever this reading is for. But on the right of the spread, we have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords in the traditional tarot is depicted by the woman that's blindfolded on her knees, I think, with the Eight of Swords beside her. And it's kind of this energy of being a victim, unknowing of our power, unknowing of that we have the ability to remove the blindfold and to experience different things. And as we've been talking through this reading, something about this Eight of Swords energy is accompanied with this false sense of comfort. Okay, so towards the bottom right of the spread, we have the Two of Blades. in the choice point position. So the Two of Swords, our spiritual team is encouraging us to make a move, make a decision, and it's going to be providing the choice point. So going back to this example of someone having the opportunity to go to a play, go to a museum by themselves, go to some kind of activity, or take advantage of some service by themselves, and they may be inclined to turn it down or not take advantage of it. But now that you are being presented with this message, our spiritual team is hoping that we will identify it and therefore take advantage of it. Underneath it, we have the Ace of Coins, so a spiritual team saying that we will benefit materially, and it is coming through as a spiritual blessing by taking advantage of this. So who knows what could come of going to a museum by yourself. Like I said, some people, they will go through the event or service by themselves, and that is medicine that is meant for them too. And some people will actually have meaningful conversations in doing so. Underneath that, we have the Seven of Staffs in the resistant position. So very clearly our spiritual team is coming through to acknowledge that they know that this is kind of like a battle within itself, a mental and emotional and a physical battle for these people that are not wanting to come outside. Maybe you have social anxiety like I do. I'm the type of person that I don't like to, like, oh my gosh, this is so, I'm being reminded of how I've literally been manifesting and asking to, like, I want to live next to a track where I can go walk and run. And I live like walking distance from a track, but I have yet to go there. And one of the reasons why is because I'm the type of person, I feel like other people are looking at me. I feel like I will draw attention. And that may not necessarily be the case. But I'm the type of person that's like, I will not go to the gym because I feel like I don't want to be seen. Even if other people are not necessarily drawn to me or gonna say anything to me, it's just like I don't want to be seen, and therefore I will not do it. And that's really not good. So spiritual teams coming through to acknowledge, like, they know that we feel burdened by doing these things, like getting out the house, exercising, moving our body, and they're hoping that we will overcome that feeling. It's like self overcoming, yeah. Then we have the Strength card in the resistant position. So spiritual team is saying, like we know that it's requiring a lot out of you to do this. Then we have the Moon card, um, speaking to speaking to this aspect of ourselves that, oh, I'm hearing the word forbidden. So something with the identity is like, maybe you've had conversations, or maybe you've just had ideations or ideologies of yourself, your self-concept that is like, maybe you've actually verbally said out loud before, like, I'm not the type of person that seeks attention. I'm getting that now. Like, someone has been that person. I'm getting like a feminine energy has talked about other feminine energies that have portrayed a certain personality type or a persona or characteristic that they didn't want to associate with. So I'm seeing a feminine being like, I've never been the type of woman that um like begs for attention. There's a name for it, right? Like where they're like attention whore, like that type of energy. But spiritual team and your shadow or the other aspect of your psyche is like, but you were always meant to have attention though. Like, you're like, you don't want to associate with the characteristics of being an attention whore, whatever that looks like for you, or whatever you witness someone else doing. that you didn't want to resonate with. So I'm seeing someone like viewing another feminine like dancing or something out loud, and they just feel like that person just wants attention. But spiritual team is like, get on the dance floor and dance, like do it. And I'm getting like something about what you said or spoke negatively about this person in the past. It was like years ago. But now you're being called to kind of like express that side of yourself. Love that for you. And I can understand the conflict because it's kind of like I haven't identified with that. And actually, I've been in opposition to that. And spiritual team is like, know thyself. Wow, that's very interesting. Know thyself. Mm. And I'm hearing commercial vehicle again. An opportunity to move from one stage of your life to the next. Very, very interesting. Then we have the Nine of Swords coming out. I'm trying to think, what is the Nine of Swords? Oh, yeah, right? No, that's the Ten of Swords I'm thinking of. What's the Nine of Swords? The Nine of Swords is coming out in the resistant position. And there is this energy of like something about doing this hurts. Like it hurts your ego, it hurts your pride. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, so it's going back to this energy of like someone doesn't want to go out to a restaurant and eat alone, or they just feel bad about being alone in general, doing some kind of activity alone. Um, so it's kind of like they have internalized this falsehood, this false ideology that we were talking about earlier with the Seven of Swords, that they've given a label, they've given a characteristic, an activity, a label, and made it an opposition and separated themselves from it, not realizing that there's a deeper part of their psyche or their wanting, their knowing, their inner self that actually is that, wants that, desires that, has the ability, the capability of experiencing that as well. And something about that feels very wild. Um, they've disassociated so much that it kind of hurts their feelings to actually try to go after it now, because of all the different aspects or ways that they've used, analogies, ideologies, excuses that they used to disassociate from it, how harmful that their thoughts or their words that they express to this other person, other people that they've seen expressing that characteristic, it hurts them to now try to strive for it. And this is another reason why, for those that have been done wrong by other people, why another reason why we should know that, like, not worry about other people's karma, or just like know that other people will always, be dealt with by spiritual team, or they will get their karma for pain that they've inflicted onto us. Because the same reason a Bossy Bruja said in one of her videos, she was just like, when people are doing like making candles or witchcraft like negatively towards other people to harm them, she's like, you realize it has to go through you first in order to get to that person. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. It has to go through you first, which means that you're damaging yourself, your own soul, your own psyche by trying to harm another. And a lot of people bypass that anyway. Like, there's a lot of people that will literally, it's just like, I don't care if I die or I corrupt or I break down everything that I built for as long as I hit you. And that's a whole nother level where like people are like on edge. But yeah, it has to go through you first before it gets to the other person. But there's this energy of this person, they have internalized this idea of singlehood and being lonely. I'm lonely, or that person is lonely because they're not married, or because they're not in a relationship, or because, whatever the reasons that people assign loneliness to, they don't have a family, and now this person is experiencing not having a family, or a period of time of not having friends. We all have to go through that at some point in our lives. There's this energy of like everybody has certain things at certain points of their life, but it doesn't mean that they'll always have those things at a certain point in their life. Like, some people get married really young and you might feel like the outlier, or some people matured faster, or some people reach popularity or fame faster, or other people care to hear or show interest in other people. Some people, got that car before, that house, that career before we did. But like, back to this universe energy, or the wheel of fortune energy of like in due time. So it's always like, whether good experiences or bad experiences, like everybody has to experience them at some point. Loneliness, being by themselves. So spiritual team is bringing up this, how we subject ourselves to certain, or how we cling to certain identities: fame, rich, poor, famous, wealthy, like luxury, fine, like we identify with so many things: youthfulness, seniority. We identify with things, but it is like, spiritual team is like, they know that they're gonna have to, like, there's phases to this shit, right? Like, they know, like, do they know? Like, no, they really don't know. And it's kind of like bringing up this energy of like how we cling to things and how we take on identities. Um, but there's so much more to discover. But yeah, specifically for this person that has internalized singlehood, being single, not being married, they may be in their 30s or 40s, and or they may just be not experiencing a relationship, a committed relationship, and they really want it, and they've internalized this idea of loneliness and being alone and being single, and because of that, all the negative identities that come with the negative thoughts associated with singlehood. And spiritual team is asking them to exercise finding fulfillment through acts of service to self, for self. Buying flowers for yourself. This person feels like that's cringe. Going out to eat by themselves, they feel like that's cringe. And something about taking, like, exercising these acts of services, it brings greater awareness to themselves of these identities that they have taken on. So even the act of moving in the right direction is like, this country song is like, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. That type of energy is like, when you finally decide, when you finally muster up the strength to clean your house or to declutter, it's like, in the process of decluttering, it becomes even bigger mess. So it's like walking through that process. In the process of someone needs to sign themselves up for health insurance, or someone needs to sign up for some kind of medical assistance because they know that they need something addressed, and they're gonna go to spiritual team wants you to know you're gonna go to your doctor's appointment, and there may be something about that process, whether it's, you know, making the hassle of making the doctor's appointments, or the hassle of needing to reschedule, or the hassle of, or the anxiety of, or like hearing the bad news, or, you know, the doctor saying, okay, this is what's going on, and these are our options, and this is what we can do, or the process of having to get blood drawn. Like, spiritual team is like, okay, you're mustering up the strength. We love that for you. We appreciate that. We understand how hard this is for you. We understand that this strength is required. We understand. Oh, sorry. We understand that this is something that you're not wanting to do with it coming out in the resistant position. We understand with the moon card that aspects of yourself is being uncovered. We understand. Um, and we're also going to need you to walk through the process of, you know, the doctor actually telling you, you know, okay, you're going to have to go here, and then you're going to have to go there. Changes may be required, is that type of energy. So towards the bottom of right of the spread, we have the Seven of Cups. In the resistant position, a lot of us are refusing to realize, and it's very important, our spiritual team, to know, like, it's very important that we understand that when we're in this energy of stagnancy, when we are realizing how easy it is to choose not to go to the mailbox, that it's an illusion, that it's a choice, that we're not going to want to do it, but to move past that, to have the courage to move past that. And with the Seven of Cups coming out, it's like we have choices. We have many choices, and taking one foot after the other is going to continue to reveal the options. So someone is experiencing something where they know, okay, I've been neglecting this for so long. I'm going to go ahead and take the steps to go to see the doctor. And the spiritual team is saying, like, we have it in our heads that, like, we're doomed, but we will be presented options. We will be presented choices. So rest in that also, to remind ourselves of that. The road will continuously be cleared. I'm hearing the road will continuously reveal itself to us as we take the steps. At the bottom of the spread, we have 10 of coins. So physical manifestations, physical opportunities, physical blessings will present itself to us as we are walking this path, taking this step. And I'm so happy for us. I'm so, for whoever this reading is for, as you do this, like, I hope that you, as you are trying to, I don't want to say muster, because mustering up the courage to me is giving me this energy of tension, and something about our spiritual team coming through in this message to say creating movement is meant to help us realize our flexibility. So a lot of us may be very stiff, and we need to start stretching every day. And in stretching every day, even though initially it's like we rather just stay curled up in the bed, because as they brought up in this reading, something about this Eight of Swords energy is accompanied with comfort, and that is a falsehood. That's a false ideology, or a false, it's not reality. That it is more comfortable for us to stay in our bed, but it's also more comfortable to, like, have your full body stretched out, and then you'll realize how amazing it feels to actually feel the capabilities of mobility, this newfound mobility. So our spiritual team is saying, like, realize guidance, realize opportunities, realize manifestations that are available to us, the blessings, the physical blessings that are available to us by taking the next step. So love that for us. get in the comment section and let me know how you're feeling about this. I love this reading for us. I definitely need it. If you like to contribute to my readings, please do so by visiting my website. I'd love for you guys to take interest in my interest. And if you can contribute through the various ways, visiting my Amazon wish list, or my website, and sending to my Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal, I'd greatly appreciate it. Other than that, I want to thank my angels, guides, ancestors, God, source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Got the Tower card, the Conqueror, yeah, the Magician, Reverse, the Chief, yep, the Emperor, Death card, yep, Three of Swords, yeah, heartache, trauma, all the sad aspects of our lives, they don't have to be. Taking initiative, having a higher vision for your life, going back to this idea of your personality. There's different aspects of our personalities that we may have never identified with before, and spiritual teams spinning the block on us and like, you sure? They're pulling up, they're like, you sure you don't want to be the baddest? You sure you're not an extrovert? You sure you don't want to be famous? You sure you're not trying to experience luxury? Like, you sure? You sure? I mean, it's here for the taking if you want it. So, take the offer. Take the offer. That's the message. Bye, y'all.